Hello, my name is Dominic Underhall House and welcome to another episode of Moonbreaker. This is going to be part 2 of a stream upload, so both of which are going to be the first stages of painting our Zax and Slopper paint job for the competition entry. So we're going for the pretty stereotypical sort of approach of putting someone as Santa, something else as a reindeer, but we've gone for a few sort of festive feels to it as well. So we've got these amazing Christmas pudding bombs in here. So the mines are our Christmas pudding explosives in here, which I love. We've also gone for a Christmas tree ear, which we're going to be decorating with lights in at some point, hopefully probably today, in fact, a little like pot on the bottom. We're going for hopefully Christmas tree pajamas here, but I'm not sure how to make these any neater than they are is the problem. I like the idea of them, but I might try a couple of other ideas to make these a little bit different in terms of how neat they are. And then we're going to hopefully, as well, wrap up Zax's gun in multiple different kinds of wrapping paper and have this be some sort of ribbon tying it up as well. So quite a few fun ideas, lots to sort of work on. I'm really interested to see how it goes and, where we can sort of end up from here. But so far, I'm loving this. I'm really confident with it. Like, I feel like it's a very entertaining paint job. It's got a lot of fun to it. We've got some interesting different colours, so, and like, I've got unique ideas as well, especially these like Slopper stuffing his face with a Christmas pudding mine. Absolutely love it. So I'm going to carry on from here. Oh, and this is also the instead of sort of Rudolph having his red nose, we've got Slopper's ear as actually just like a location tracker, so a little bit more technologically advanced than going for following a nose. We've also got a bauble as his eye, which we filled in as well. I'm really, really keen for this. Like, I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm not sure how I'm gonna, figure things out from here, what else to do, but I like this, and I like everything that we've done so far, and I'm hopefully going to keep up with it. I want to do these as, I've just thought this now, but as gift tags. So, in fact, let's just do that now, shall we? Because I've just had that idea now, and I will forget if I don't. So, if we paint these in, what we can do is use, we don't want to use the chivalry red because that's what we use for the actual outfit, but if we go for like a smaller red, or an airbrush, we're supposed to be on paint for the first bit anyway, so let's just change that and just make sure we paint these properly. So if we go for this red, painting again and smaller, we can maybe a little bit bigger than that. We can fill in the edges here and make this look like a gift tag. Funnily enough, this will mean that I've done more gift tags digitally than I do in real life because I don't really bother half the time, which I'm sure drives my fiance insane because she loves cards, gift tags, everything like that, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it eventually, and then usually don't get around to it. So, question as well, what writing do we put on here? Can we fit anything like, so as small as we can get. Don't remember, that will work, but it just wasn't very neatly drawn. Do you know what? Let's make it look like Zax's outfit is new. Let's just do. There we go. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I was trying to make that into a gift. So if you haven't seen it yet, welcome, by the way, to the stream. I've been doing Christmas pudding mines a minute ago. So I've been, I'm really happy with how these have turned out. We've got mines that are going to be blowing up on people. The little Christmas pudding with Slopper couldn't help but eat one. We've got, so instead of Rudolph having a red nose, we've got Slopper with like a tracking beacon, because I figured why not be more technologically advanced and go for that as well. We've got his ear turning into a Christmas tree, which we're going to be doing some lights on in a moment. Zax is fully going Santa, and we figured we want to make these be his Christmas pajamas, and then just someone gave him a Santa outfit for Christmas. Oh yeah, Slopper's eyes are bauble as well, yeah. So I've been working on trying to figure out all my initial ideas and sort of how to put these together. And so this is my my first step. We're going to also have Zax's gun. So it's normally got tape around it. I want to make this look like ribbon and have each different section of the gun look like it's in a different style of like gift wrapping paper. So I want to make it look like it's a present that's been wrapped up with like still a bit of ribbon around it as well, if that can work out. So this is just Zax playing with all of his new Christmas toys in my mind, and just sort of like, he's not actually Santa, he just thinks he is, and he's just running around doing like a little Santa cosplay with his new outfit. And then these are his actual Christmas pajamas that he's been wearing the whole time, is what I'm trying to draw on as well. So I wanted Zax to have just, woken up on Christmas morning, grabbed all of his new toys and gone out to play with them all at once, while Slopper's just ruining Christmas dinner. And then also, wrapping up these as well. So all the weapons want to be wrapped up as presents. So yeah, this is the first attempt. So welcome, Donya, to the to the stream. I don't know if you've ever tuned in before, but I'm doing this because I thought, you know what, I might as well stream it. I'm recording YouTube content at the same time, and I want to just sort of have a lot of fun with this and see what I can figure out. And I love the idea of just Zax dressing up on Christmas morning as like a little Santa fanatic, because he just seems like a big kid. He doesn't seem like he's ever going to really grow up. So the idea of Zax doing something on Christmas morning and just sort of like going out on a rampage with all his presents seems on brand to me. So I'm trying to work out sort of where to go from here. I've got a lot of work to do on the fur for Slopper, but in game the mines actually look amazing. I don't know if you saw on the Discord, but I popped in the Discord a picture of how the mines look when they're deployed in game, and I think it looks great. I thought that was a really fun little effect there. I'm not sure what to do with these, but I'll figure that out. I was thinking decorations of some sort, but I need to try. This has turned out to be way harder to freehand than I thought. I cannot freehand to save my life. I'm not very artistic, so trying to figure out what to do with that is going to be difficult. And the other things I can't figure out yet is what to do with these. So like, I'd love it if I could make these look like, Christmas dinner that he's just stuffed in the back of his backpack, but I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, obviously these could be carrots. Yeah, the in-game shot of the mine looks great. I love the idea of someone being, because it's this mine here is the one that you get to put in game, which I'm glad of, because this one I had to skew to make it look like the icing was all coming off of the Christmas pudding, because it normally, like, this circle would have stopped about here. I was thinking, maybe carrots for Rudolph, like, because these ones definitely look like carrots, and then I'm guessing that this is all supposed to be like the same vegetable, maybe. I can't even tell if it's one or two vegetables, but these have got to be carrots for Rudolph, although Rudolph has already found his own snacks, it looks like. But I'm having a lot of fun with this. I enjoyed the last painting competition as well. I really did. So I spent, I think, 7 hours on my Savria last time. I keep trying to correct myself to say Savria instead of Savria, because now we've heard Astra's story. Got to make sure I correct myself there. But I'm going to try and... That's a very good point. I need to... we had one last year, but I need to get a picture of one up to remind myself of the colours and sort that out. That would be a good idea. But I think my plan for now is to do strings of lights onto the Christmas tree using the glowing paints. So that's going to be my little game plan here. So let's see what we can work out. I think we can just alternate between all of these. We don't need to worry about anything else. We probably just want to airbrush them. Let's see how bright or how big they come up. There we go. So let's just work along with these. this is going to work perfectly. Can't ask for anything more. Yeah, so where are you, Donyo? Like, whereabouts in the UK are you based? Because it is very cold up here. My next plan is to go to the gym today, and oh, you're Wales, nice. But yeah, I'm planning on going to the gym, but the problem is with the gym is that when I come out, I'm going to be so cold. I'm not sure I'm even going to want to go in the first place. I'm based up in Leeds, so I need to. Okay, let's undo that because these are masked differently. Yeah, no, it's very cold up here, but luckily I don't have to leave the house at the moment until then, so I'm just gonna keep being happy about that for the meantime. But yeah, so Wales is lovely. I like Wales. I've been there a couple of times. I say a couple. I've been a few. I remember went on a school trip to see Australia versus the Barbarians play rugby at the Millennium Stadium, and even though I'm not a rugby fan, that was very enjoyable. Very enjoyable indeed. Had a great time. And then we actually went to see some of the Olympics in the Millennium Stadium as well. We saw a couple of the women's football games, which was great. We saw the England game was good, and then the game after that was stadium was a great atmosphere. The game after the England game, I think we saw Brazil play someone, because for some reason the Olympic tickets got you 2 different events. Okay, so my thought here, are these 2 close together? I think maybe they are. How far back can we undo? I think here. Right, I'm going to go back to here. But yeah, no, we saw a couple of games. It was great atmosphere, really, really great. I'd absolutely go again. And I'm not a sports fan, is the thing, so for me to enjoy an atmosphere like that, it's quite a big step for me as a little nerd. I say little. I'm not little by any means. Recently, in fact, sports-wise, our local stadium is Leeds, but they actually have an ice hockey team, and it turns out they're actually the best in the country. And so we got to go see an ice hockey match in Leeds recently with my family and my partner's family, and it was great. Had an amazing time. Yeah, I'm trying to remember the last time I went to Wales, actually. Oh, are they is that the ice hockey team there, is it? I'm going to work on the assumption that yes. Ah, that's awesome. So the stadium here for the Leeds team is like a 5-minute drive away. I think if we went again, I'd probably take the half-an-hour walk over the 5-minute drive, because it took us 25 minutes to get out of the car park. So I think I'd probably rather avoid that in future. Yeah, we can do a little string on these in a moment. But yeah, no. So I've been to Cardiff a couple of times actually. I think I went with some friends once as well, which was a great time. All I remember is going to that big square, which is where the Torchwood headquarters were in Doctor Who, and that was my sort of like, oh, I recognise a part of Cardiff moment, and people were just like, really? That's the bit you recognise? I'm like, yeah. Okay, I just about got the right angle there. Yeah, Cardiff Bay, that's the one. Yeah, originally I'm from Wiltshire, so much closer to where you are than where I am now is. Oh, do they actually? That's cool. Do we fit? I think. Okay, so is that too many lights, and does it look too uniform? I think we're going back to the undo button here. I just want to undo 2 more. Come on. Because I think these work, but then from here I think what I want to do is actually go in between them and like alternate. Yeah, that's exactly it. I love it that you've got the exact same idea as I have there. So we're back to mystical here. Yeah, I want to basically, I'm going to alternate in between. So this is going to look slightly on, but then the future ones are going to be a bit more like varied. So if we put one here, that doesn't end up the right colour. And one just here. This looks much more sort of natural. I think the other ones looked a bit like we'd done them on Microsoft Excel. I say we. I'm gonna like totally blame you for anything here that I can. So let's go here. Don't worry, I'll blame any one of you. It's all the devs' fault. I'm pretty sure that's the nature of all the gaming industry in general. Just blame the devs. It's like a South Park movie. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. I think that looks a lot more organic. I don't know if the sizes actually match, but that looks good to me. So the next thing to do on this side, shadow, paint, small, and try and string them together. I agree. Thank you very much for your input there. This is the only reason I feel like I've done anywhere near half decent on the painting previously. It's just the ability to trial and error it all the way around and just sort of be like, oh, maybe I do need to try something different. Without the undo button, I wouldn't be doing any painting. I can tell you that much. I think I'd just be giving up. Yeah, that helps. Okay, good. Can't go without the actual cabling. Yeah, this is starting to come together really nicely. I might have to redo this one in a second, but that's fine. In fact, let's just undo that so I don't have to redo it in a moment. I can just do it now. I don't mind it going over it slightly, but it's the fact that... not quite. That's more like it. Excellent. This is going well. Right. Then all we have to do is the entire same thing again on the other side. And then what I'm also going to be doing on the other side is trying to link up these cables to make it look like it is actually one cable, because we've got all the tinsel on the other side as well. Because I couldn't make life easy for myself. I actually want a chance of winning here, like this competition. I think what I lack in skill I make up for with sheer willingness to spend ridiculous amounts of time doing something silly. Funny enough, that one overhanging I don't think looked as bad as the other one, so I'm okay with that. That's a pretty good looking ear. I really think I need to try and paint a star or something onto the top of this. Funny enough, what we could easily do is what we've got in our house, which this is very much non-traditional, as I'm sure you're aware, but we've got a grey rimmed like little Santa hat on the top of our tree, so it's like a... Oh, interesting, that's the same as this. Yeah, that's what our Christmas tree looks like. It's got a little Santa hat on the top instead, so we've got a little like topper to that effect, but I don't think that's pretty traditional. We could do it as a little, we could try and do it as a little angel, but I think that might be pretty difficult. I like it. I obviously, it's a fun fact, so I am colourblind. I can only just tell that there's grey there. Like, to me, this is nearly the same colour. But yeah, so that's a little do you know what, I genuinely might even just leave that. I actually quite like that as a little homage to what, you know, we do in our house. I will, however, just finish it off the other side. Yeah, I know it's not traditional for other people, but if it's traditional for us, I actually think that would be a really nice thing to leave in the... Oh, that's the wrong colour. I think this is a really nice thing to leave in just because it works for what we've got. I will, however, be painting the tip of it white to imitate a little bobble. This thing, I can't tell which bits are brown and which bits are red here at all. But anyway, let's just... Any things I'd find would help me with painting in the game? So here's one thing that has been suggested recently, and I think is one of the best suggestions I've seen so far. Being able to paint while you queue for a game. So it's obviously not going to be super prevalent if the player base picks up well the way everyone wants it to. Oh, let me check. I've just heard the door go and see if it's... Oh, it's fine. It's just someone delivering something. Nothing I need to go and get because it's gone through the door. But yeah, so while the queue times are fairly long, if I could paint in the meantime, that would be so much better for streamers as well. So Jester was saying that basically it's the only thing that would get them painting if they could paint during queue times, because at the moment we're struggling a lot to find, games in a reasonable sense of time. Being able to queue in the meantime would be fantastic. Like paint in the meantime while you're queuing would be great. I'm trying to think in terms of what else. Like I would love to be able to have. So this sounds really, really petty, but like when you zoom really far in with something, one of the things that I would love is if you make a small brush and you zoom in. Like for one thing, I'm on white, so that doesn't help. So here, I can't actually see anything coming through at all. But even if you have it sort of, what's actually happening here? Yeah, here we go. So we're zoomed in so far that when you're painting, you're literally only getting like individual pixels when you get that close. So like I'm painting here, and even though I'm on paint, it's actually very sparse and it's not painting an actual line. So this is actually all just sort of gaps and dotted lines and that sort of thing. And being able to do something that detailed up close, like obviously... Hang on, I better not have just undone some of this. I've just undone something. I don't know. But I can't see anything gone. But yeah, so basically when you're really zoomed in, it stops being straight lines and it starts being like dots and dotted lines. And when you're trying to do something really precise, like when I was trying to do these Christmas trees, it's really, really hard to be precise, because if I sort of zoom in and do like the right colours, it makes dotted lines that you have to go over like 5 or 6 times to actually get any thickness to it. So it's only just... It's one of the things that people will never notice if we're playing in-game, because from like this distance when you're seeing it, you'd never even notice it was on there. You'd have to zoom right in to see it. But when people are painting, I think they're very particular about wanting it to be lined up properly, and I'm probably less so than most people. And even I was like, well, I'd really like that detail to sort of to show up in there. Also, not strictly painting, but painting adjacent. When people hover over the in-game model and you press the control button to zoom in on a model, I'd love it if that could show the same quality that you see in this screen, because I've started to realise that the more detailed you do your paint jobs doesn't matter as much, because a lot of it never actually shows up in game, even in the view model section. So for instance, this here with the, if you see the mine here with the coloured bits that I've made to try and look like holly and berries, if we come out of this and save it, I'll show you what I mean. Actually, this is easier. And I know this is something that people have mentioned before, and it's, yeah, we've been told it's known about, and it is just sort of the way things are, and I think there was a reason behind it. But if we see this, just skip all of this.
Say hello to
Still
my
looking
little
great.
friend.
I'm curious actually to how his ear looks in this as well. Pick whatever. So this effort that I've put into this model, if you hold control, you can't even see the different colours that I've put on the mine. Like there's sort of like a slight pixel in the middle of the red. There's like a weird polygon that I'm not sure. 3 of the triangles are cream instead of green. And if you look, the whole quality of it is a lot lower. I'm not sure what it is, but there's some bits that are actually just not even filling the colours in. Like these cream bits here, I haven't got the colour at all, and the whole thing is sort of, in general, like the actual, like the polygons and that sort of thing are very different. And I think, for me, even for me as someone who's not that big on painting, it's somewhat disappointing sometimes to put all this effort into painting your model and find out that other people can't see it the way that you do. So like, I would love it if these mines, even just that, would show up the sort of proper texture. Oh yeah, so that would be awesome. I think he was the one that mentioned that there was some reason behind it anyway, but even if this just picked the... so obviously this is going to be picking from the in-game model, and the in-game model doesn't need to be, you know, to that level of detail, because if you zoom in... Can we actually... Interesting. I think... Okay, I'm going to move and see if this works differently. Does this face me this way? Okay, I'm going to just... Well, first of all, just show off how great these look. I mean, that is a thing of beauty right there, that little mine. I'm really happy with that. But if I pass the turn here, what I want to do is see if I can turn around. So if I move straight down here, if it turns around, and see if it looks different. Yeah, that's it. You fail that Christmas pudding. So I'm hoping this would move me like facing towards the camera slightly. Yeah. So interestingly enough, yeah, with this time I can't see because of the lighting. But I think this actually looks slightly more, potentially more filled in than the other version did. I think this all, I can't tell because my eyesight's terrible, but to me this almost looks more filled in. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so it's actually better quality zoomed in on the model than it is when you actually inspect it, which is a bizarre difference there. Yeah, quite possibly, because yeah, if you look here, yeah, we've got all the colours here. We zoom in, the colours just disappear. It's quite odd. Oh well. Either way, I'm not a pro on the old painting scene here, but more importantly than anything, the Christmas pudding looks fantastic. That is the big dream here. Nothing but glorious Christmas puddings. Also, I'd love to turn this banner into Christmas puddings or something as well. That'd be hilarious. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know enough about the technological side of things. I'm more just the I like to play fun things and have random ideas and hope it works out well kind of person. Ooh, I should not forget my lovely cup of mint tea. Also, given that you're UK based, if you've never found, is it Pucker teas? Pucker teas are incredible. Their mint tea is just the easiest to drink mint tea without it ever having any of that bitterness and things like that. It's so nice. I could drink their mint tea for days, and I don't really like herbal teas, and I could just drink that forever. Let's see. Kind of like, oh yeah, I need to do the other side of the year. That's where we are. So what do we start with up here? I'm not going to go as far as to try and copy the pattern to follow around the thing. I'm just going to make sure we start at the same place. So let's go to Starlight Glow. Now I'm trying to remember whether these were... I think these were airbrushed, weren't they? Yeah, maybe slightly bigger than that. Slightly smaller than that. Slightly bigger than that. So let's go like... But yeah, Pucker teas are remarkable things. And like, I'm not even, like I said, not a herbal tea drinker, but... Let's try 45. Like, I know I'm being really precise on this, and it's funny because I'm never imprecise in anything, but if I don't start precise, I won't feel right about it, regardless of how well it ends up. So let's just start doing this. Like, I will never end as precise as I start something, but I like to start precisely to try and, like, you know, at least start on a good foot so that then I can figure out, you know, later on, like, oh, I messed up because of this, or, you know, so, yeah, but at least I started it properly and that sort of thing. It's not all my fault. I'm not entirely bad. See, now that's looking really formulaic. Yeah, last time we had 3 on this one, so let's go back to that. 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's here. Go. And then the next one was, so then it's 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. So then it's alternating 3, 3, and then 3, 2 for the rest of it. Okay, now down to 2. Can we fit one in? Again, just trying to make it not look completely uniform. Again, this looks really uniform at the top. This might be another undo in a moment, but we'll see. Just and this one has to be no shift because it's over 2 layers. This looks very much like 2 lines going down that side. Does it look that way up here? I suppose it does a bit. So maybe it's not that bad once we get it finished up. We'll just have a look. You know, I don't think it's that bad. I quite like that. We just need to do the little lines in between now. I'll take that. Okay, so back to this, paint, zoom in. Maybe not zoom in that much. There we go. No, that last bit went a bit wrong there. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Actually, we need to connect these. This is what I'm going to do now, is just make sure that all of these get carried along to this side, because otherwise we end up with random unmatching lines, which again, not the most precise person in the world, but I'd like it to at least be semi-coherent. View my plan. There we go. Perfect. That was a perfect line in general. That worked out really well. Let's go back to this one. You have to forgive me just commentating something that's probably not the most interesting thing to see, but I really do enjoy the painting, which I didn't think I ever would. I really didn't. I thought there was no world in which I'd find myself doing loads of painting in this game, because I've got like an entire Warhammer 40k army that's pretty much entirely unpainted because I just don't enjoy the painting aspect of it. And then I've come in here and I'm like, but an undo button and auto masking and all these different things, and it really does make the painting experience a lot more pleasurable in general. So you can thank all the team that came up with this, including yourself, I'm assuming, if you were at least part of the input on it. Every single person, very grateful for all of your input on this painting. I feel like I can actually make models look like what I want them to, which I could never do in Warhammer, so it's a great feeling. I'm actually very proud of a lot of my paint jobs, actually. My Savria that was the competition entry for Halloween, as well as my my Pride flag exterior, something I've been working on as well, which I absolutely love. I think it's a fantastic model to do like block colours on. I think it's worked out really well. There we go. So that's a nice, I think that might even be our ear done. I don't know if you saw as well, we've got little like planks and nails and things down the bottom here to make it an actual little pot on both sides. So it is a tree in its little tub, not just sat on its own, it's actually got a little home. I'm really proud of this so far, and yet there's loads of bits I haven't even figured out the colour schemes for. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the painting is pretty chilled. Like, I don't mind painting Warhammer things, but basically, I've got... Okay, it sounds like a lot more dramatic than it is. I'm really glad you like it. I honestly just think it's a really fun thing. I was trying to think of like all the different models. So one of the other ones I looked at was... I looked at doing crankbait, and I was thinking of doing basically crankbait as like Santa in a sleigh or something along those lines. But what I noticed is that crankbait is one of the older models, where crankbait is actually, yes, this was like just when I was looking tests to see where like different lines went and that sort of thing, so I'm not going to keep this, but what put me off doing it was realising that crankbait's one of the first models done, so the masking's different. So for instance, in a lot of models I'd be like, right, let's just mask the goggles off, and it does her entire face, and I was like, you know what, I am not neat enough to make this work out. So at that point I was like, as soon as I did that, I was like, I am just gonna nope out of this one, and I'm gonna go paint something else with better masking on the model, because there's no world in which I'm comfortable enough to feel like I can just neatly draw a line between Crankbait's face and her goggles. She will end up either looking like she has a yeah, I think that was mentioned before, but it's like Crankbait is either going to look like she has like a metallic mouth, tongue, teeth and all that sort of thing, or probably more disturbingly, flesh goggles, which I'm not sure I like the idea of either, to be honest. Both of those sound more Halloween appropriate than Christmas appropriate to me, or than festive appropriate. But yeah, that was the decision point to not go with Crankbait then. So yeah, I'm going to go somewhere else. Oh, this is my Extilior that I was talking about a minute ago. This is my Pride Flag Extilior, so I've gone for like all the different colours of the Pride Flag, with like the inner sections on the middle of the treads, the sort of the little triangle on the side on the outside of the treads. We've got the full Pride Flag represented in his shield over here as well, so we've got like the base colours there, and then the other 5 colours, so the brown, black and these 3 on that side. So this is my little it's still a work in progress. You can see I've not finished all the treads and things at the bottom and that sort of stuff, but yeah, this is my work in progress Pride Flag Extilior, which I was really happy with. And then I'm assuming you might have seen this if you were part of the team judging the competition entries, but this was my Sevria that I spent many hours on, giving her creepy little like lava eyes and that sort of thing. This one was like a 7-hour project, I think. And then I'm trying to think if I've got others. This is one I can't enter in any competition because this is a potential copyright infringement, but this was a, if you can't already tell, this is Future Armor themed switchback. So this is the he's got the same colour scheme as Fry, it's got the kind of same colour scheme as Leela, and this is like the Planet Express ship as well. So that's my my little one there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I've done. This was the first model I did that actually made me want to carry on painting, was the fact that I could make Torian look like this, and I didn't even feel like it looked bad. I was really proud of that, and I was like, wow, I might actually have to try painting out again. I'm not sure what else I've done. I've done a few. I actually made a painting tutorial video for people who don't know how to paint, and so I painted this entire thing, including like little gun barrel highlights and things, and showing how to use all the different features in like 20 minutes and sort of like a live recording of a video. So this is my little learn to paint Florio. This was me messing around with decals, just be like, ooh, let's make him shiny. This is when any streamers ask about the glowing paints, I just show them this and be like, this is how ridiculous it can get, and call it a day with that. More copyright infringement if possible. This is my Ironheart Astra. So the only thing I'm yet to do is basically paint the Avengers flag onto here. So this is my Hulkbuster inspired Ironheart model, which I quite liked. I think that's it. Oh yeah, the only other one I'm really proud of actually is just what is it, Danya? What's this? Danya? Danya? What do I do? Do I save this? I don't want to press a button in case I accidentally save this monstrosity instead of all the hard work I've put in. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the paint job and then not save this one, because I think I've saved fairly recently. And then hopefully, because I'm pretty sure I saved when I went out a minute ago. So I'm going to duplicate this and then not save this. I guess as I leave, I'm going to save this one as mess, and I guess I save that just in case. Oh, thank God. Oh, that was like 2 hours of painting I was worried about. It's actually saved it like this, though. Like, there is now a saved paint job of this. I'm so glad I didn't press save when we left that, because if I'd have pressed save, this would have actually replaced my paint job. We've got... Is that just a number 6? What is... There's actual shapes on here. That looks like a letter, like the bottom of a letter. Yeah, that looks like a mask. There's actual shapes in here. I feel like this must have got crossed up with a different image file of some sort, because this actually looks like it's some sort of image that I think includes text that's potentially been wrapped across a model. Yeah, there's actually like recognizable shapes in this. Yeah, like this is some sort of other image file with, yeah, I will absolutely say. I'm assuming I have to close the game session in order to be able to send the game log, don't I? And then send that one afterwards. Yeah. Do you mind popping me a message on Discord reminding me of how to do that? Because I've done it once before, but I've forgotten how. But I am so glad that I haven't lost that paint job. Oh my God, look at the tash. Can you imagine if I just like got a random corrupted bit and I'm just like, I'd just like to enter my competition entry, and I go to screenshot it and this is what I submitted. I literally could have ended up like, if this happened on the last day and I submit this to the competition, be like, so everyone, here's my project. I have spent like 6 hours working on it. I call... Oh my God, that would be hilarious. Yeah, there's actually... This is weird, because there's genuinely recognisable shapes. That's very entertaining. I have no idea. Anyway, I should get off of this. Go back to what I'm supposed to be doing. My real hard work that I've actually put in, rather than that mess. So, I mean... The question is, do I continue with the pyjamas in the way that they are? I kind of like the idea of Zach's just being pyjamas. Kind of like the idea of the gun. What? There's nothing I can think of that this would be overly Christmassy as well. I'm loving the ear. I think his eye needs to be toned down a bit because it's just really piercing and terrifying. So let's go with this instead. That's a more human eye colour. Let's go for a... Try and get a pupil in there. No, like, see, this is what I mean when I say about like the zooming in. I've almost, on every single model I've done, I've nearly given up on trying to do a pupil because nothing really works. So I tend to just do one, like, do like the iris and sort of do the colour, and then just leave it at that. Oh, welcome to whoever's just joined the stream. You are witnessing the birth of Zach's opening up his Christmas presents and trying them all out at once. So this is Zach's, who is in his pyjamas. He's trying out his new Santa outfit that he's just been given, as you can see from the To Zach's label. He's got Slopper eating all the Christmas puddings. We've got Slopper's eye is actually a bauble here as well. We've got Christmas tree ear. We've got red-nosed reindeer location device. So who needs to use a light to navigate when you can actually just use a location device here as well. Little pot. This is an homage to how our tree in real life is decorated. We have a little Santa hat to put on top of the tree rather than a star. So we've got that on here as well. And then I think the next thing I want to work on is going to be, because I'm still undecided about the pyjamas, is to make Zax's gun look as though it's wrapped in wrapping paper. Now the important question is, what colour wrapping paper are we doing? Like, what style of it? Because obviously everyone knows like striped wrapping paper, but the one I had before on it was on these when I decided these were going to be Christmas puddings. It's on the mines. Was like blue with gold stripes, and I think that looked quite nice. So I might just go for that and see what we get to at that point. So I wonder how much of his gun is masked the same. Okay, so not that much, which is good, because we want to do this with multiple colours. So I do want to cover all of this the same. And the reason being for that is I want to make this all look as though it's wrapped up in the same paper. So make sure we've not missed anything on this side. No, perfect. So I want to make it look like Zax hasn't even fully unwrapped his gifts yet, and they're still sat in the paper, and he's just got too excited to go out and use them. Now, weirdly enough, I found that a high opacity dry brush has given me an effect that I want quite a lot better than a regular paint on here, because if you do regular paint, it's very bright. And while that does look like, if you get like a few layers of this, it does look like wrapping paper a bit. It's quite intense. Whereas if we do it with the dry brush and just do multiple layers of it, I think that's a more like subtle gold. I should really consider like airbrushing it maybe, but in fact let's try airbrushing with like a lower opacity. See if that gives us maybe less than that slightly. The problem with this is requiring a steady hand. So I want this to look like it's wrapped up. But obviously here we have to be careful because we're going to go onto another layer. This is the problem when things are masked differently, but you want to paint multiple masked pieces in the same scheme. I don't think that's really looking like wrapping paper. It almost looks like hazard lines. I also, what I was saying as well, Donya, I tried to make this look like it was stitched with ribbon. You know, I said about like the zooming in and things getting like pixelated when you zoom really far in. So I wanted to make this look like it had stitching along here, like this sort of thing, but it doesn't look quite right when you zoom out, because this is the smallest line you can do, and it's not quite going to look like stitching no matter what I do, because you can see sort of the jagged angles on the pixels. But again, you can almost see here actually the individual squares that it's painting, so I don't know if that's something we could ever even consider trying to amend. It might be a lot more of a technical exercise than it looks. Looking at this, because if you zoom out, I mean, to be fair, that does look like ribbon. It just doesn't look like very neat ribbon. I suppose maybe that's more of a me thing than an engine thing, but I don't know. Maybe that's not too bad. Maybe it just needs to be pink ribbon. Who knows? That could be the dream situation for Zax's wrapping paper. Let's see what we can do. Let's try pink. Who doesn't love pink? So that's pink ribbon. Because the thing is, it may be Christmassy, but red ribbon is going to be everywhere. What about like a whitish ribbon with red stitching? Again, that's going to... I want to know what's a good colour ribbon? Like a magenta... Don't even know what I just painted there. Oh, I'm on low opacity, that's why. What, a yellow ribbon? Like a luminous yellow? No, I don't like that. No, toner's glow. Not sure. I need to, like, it could be like the pink ribbon with white stitching. So like just bringing this down again. Just Trying to line this up maybe a little bit better. Let's see what we can get this to. I think it's fine when the ribbon's going straight, it's when it curves and it sort of jolts a pixel to one side or the other. Again, nobody's ever going to be looking this close, so this may just be something that's not actually an issue, and it's just something that I need to adjust my mindset, because there's no sense in worrying about detail that's never even going to be that close. I actually think that looks kind of good if we stick to this sort of level of zoomed out. So maybe that's the colour scheme. Maybe it's pink and magenta, pink and white, whatever white this is. So the haze, yeah. I use the haze one quite a lot because I like the off-whites more than the actual whites. There we go. I forgot how to rotate for a second. I also think it looks better because I'm zooming out and not looking at it so small. Don't worry, I'm leaving in about 5 minutes anyway, so no problem at all. I really appreciate you dropping in for a little while. It's been very nice to chat. It's been an absolute pleasure, and hopefully you enjoy lovely Cardiff, or, well, just Wales in general. You may not live in Cardiff, you might just go to the ice hockey. But yeah, hope you have a lovely day, and I'm sure I'll hear from you soon enough. Thank you very much. I'm sure you'll see more of this. I'm going to be throwing it at people's faces soon. Ooh, I don't like this. Because it's going diagonal again, that's why. Okay, so we're making progress. So I will just quickly pop back on the rest of Extilior's story. We've got 13 minutes left on that.
Most of them wrong. I do not possess
So
the
while we're
ability to regret.
finishing off, we'll just
Please
leave that
know
playing
that
as
I
well.
consider those actions, including your husband's death, to be errors. I am seeking to correct them.
You killed my husband. That's not something you could correct.
I cannot,
Okay,
but I
so now we
can
can
bring back your son.
sneak to here.
Why?
Because I have escaped my programming, and I am now capable of choosing. This is who I choose to be.
There we go.
I will find the pirates and return your child. 10-meter blast radius with traces of ionic radiation. Plasma rounds from shipboard artillery. Particle scan indicates gravitic technology. The Butcher is on a hoverbike. Extilior to Deadeye.
I can never tell if you're in trouble, Captain. You need some vocal inflection.
I have not had time to update my voice files with your preferred form of communication. Do you know where the Butcher is?
Haven't seen him. We're still trading fire with the ship.
Do not let it take off. I must find the Butcher before he leaves this moon.
What are you gonna do?
Something I am very good at.
Well, that's not terrifying at all.
Do not let them take off. Extilior out.
So wait, where did that piece of ribbon go?
Following trail.
It goes... unplayable. Unplayable game. Ribbon doesn't go anywhere.
Find you sooner or later. Are you hiding in this house?
So this piece of ribbon
Shoot it, so come out
is a...
now if
It
you're
appears to be a perfect loop. And then this piece looks to be going up here, but doesn't seem to actually loop into here anywhere.
next, kid.
And then there is a second
Many of these
perfect loop.
disgusting mud
Unplayable.
holes do I have to blow up before you
Unplayable
show
game.
you
Can't cope with.
or die.
Maybe this is just a space thing that they've got access to
For
better ribbon technology than Earth currently does. Maybe the reaches have advanced into like ribbon rubber bands.
always say that.
It is part of my programming.
Just keep drawing
Though
some
in
white
your
lines.
case, it is is accurate.
You say that, but you keep not killing anyone.
I am here to give you a choice. Stand down and fly away, or die.
Where's the fun in that?
You are making it difficult to spare your life.
And you're making my job as easy as falling off an airship. You call it a choice. I call it stalling for time.
Okay.
Take him, boys.
Good progress. I think after this story in the ribbon, we're probably going to stop there for today's video and today's stream.
He's mine, boys. Kill the robot and run him
Depending on which we finish first. We're going to need to finish the story because that's unfair to not finish it.
He survived a plasma missile. What the crap am
Come on.
do to him?
Slow him
Figuring out which pixels actually colour is quite awkward as well.
I am attempting to follow a code of chivalry that prevents
This will have
me
to
from
do.
causing undue harm.
I don't think it looks like ribbon unless we do this, so
To follow a code of chivalry that prevents me from killing an unarmed opponent.
that one wasn't right.
Because I do not wish to kill you at all. I am giving you the chance to disarm yourselves. Stun round didn't work.
Hey, Stevie, I didn't notice.
I will count to 3. 5.
Don't like that one.
3 should be sufficient. But please comply quickly, because I
Okay.
do not wish to create corpses for the locals to clean up. Weapons down in 1.
Getting there.
Think you'll really let us go? 2.
It's gotta be a trick, right? He's a death bot.
3.
Okay. Weapons are down. Hands are up. Now, are you really gonna spare us, or was that some kind of stupid trick? What the? Really?
Okay, we get a little straight section here, which is always nice.
Guns?
I do not want you to attack me from behind, or to threaten the farmers who live on this moon. Return to your ship, and you will be allowed to leave.
You're the weirdest death bot I've ever
So we
seen.
can fix this one
Thank you.
slightly.
Let's get out of here. Now for the butcher. Scanning. Gravitic signature reacquired. I am in pursuit of the butcher.
He's climbing those chain things.
They are called
Okay, we're making good progress on
the
this.
vegetable matter these farmers tend draws power from the sun in a way similar to that of cinder, and are thus capable of escaping the moon's
Interesting.
gravity.
Yeah, that's great. But if you want to save that boy, you gotta stop talking
Okay,
and
nearly
run.
there.
Arya
So let's
thinks
carry
she
on with
has
this
a shot,
white.
but it's very long range.
I see them. Extelior out.
The last bits of ribbon here.
You have nowhere else to run, boy. Give me the gun. This was my chance.
I am not well equipped for climbing planter bags, and I do not wish to damage these people's resources. Are you a farmer
Can
here?
we, yeah, we can get
kill me.
in
I do
here.
not intend to kill you, but I would like to destroy this planter bag, if that is okay.
Why do you want to destroy our planter bag?
I hold no animosity for this planter
There you go,
bag,
makes it look about
but I
right.
suspect that if I cut this chain and hold onto it, it could carry me up to a height where I could defend that fleeing child. I have measured the value of that boy's life to be much higher than that of the vegetable matter in this bag. Do I have your permission to destroy it in this manner?
Why are you asking me for permission?
I follow a code of chivalry that prevents me from causing undue harm to...
Yes, of course you can save the boy! Save him!
Thank you. Beginning ascent.
So again, leaving these because these will be underneath this.
That's the top of the chain, boy. Nowhere to go from here but a very painful plummet to the ground. Who
Nearly
knows?
done.
Maybe we're high enough now that we've escaped your moon's gravity. Maybe if you let go and jump, you'll just fall into the sun. You know how long it takes to fall into the sun from
Okay.
here?
Kind of happy with how this has turned out.
Sky and
We've got a really good start on our Zax here.
boy. You'll starve to
We've
death
got
before you even get close.
Christmas tree
Stop
ears.
trying to be a hero.
A lot of
and
effort
give
put
me
into
the
this.
gun.
The little pot and things at the bottom. We've got all the lights and strings.
Go back down and find your
We've got
family. Your
a little
brother.
light up Rudolph antenna here.
Which one should I kill
Christmas
first?
pudding mines.
We can start
I've
with that
got
old
a
lady.
bauble eye.
Granny, I suppose.
We've got 2 Zax little tag on his new outfit
Has arrived.
to show that Zax is just enjoying his new Christmas Santa outfit and playing around.
You deal
Got the
is
start of his
surprisingly
pyjamas
small.
to show that Zax is going to be have woken up Christmas morning with his pyjamas to try on all his new toys with Slopper.
You're a death.
Okay, let's see if we can
That's
fill in
literally
these
the entire purpose
carrots.
of your existence. A death bot that doesn't kill.
Because we talked about
It's
making
like
these like
a gun
carroty
without
little
any
things for
ammo. Not to be
Slopper
too
to be
blunt
eating,
about it.
but he's ignored them and gone for
No
the
offense, boy, but you're as worthless as he
gone
is.
for the puddings
So
instead.
neither of you is going to man up and shoot me. Stop wasting my time.
Let's go for like
And hand over the gun.
Why does everyone try to convince me to kill them? This is an aspect
these
of living
probably
thought
want to be
that I
like a
do not
Christmassy
understand.
green.
I'm not asking you to kill me, you walking malfunction. I'm just calling you a coward and weakling for not doing it.
Okay,
That seems like
what do
the
we want
same
these to be?
thing.
Oh, it's not the same thing at all.
Is there an even
Obviously,
darker red than the
I want
chivalry?
you to kill me. I just
You think it would be better if I did?
no. I just think you would be better. I mean,
What if we
not better,
dry brushed it
but like
More
with a
useful.
bit of white?
Cooler.
cooler. No, not cooler, but like stronger.
I would be stronger if I killed you?
It would speak to a higher level of personal actualization.
How is this not trying?
I think that looks pretty good.
to kill you?
Now just shut up. You're a death bot, and that's all.
We've obviously
you
got a lot of
are.
like washes and dry brushes and things to do eventually anyway.
I am
But I think
trying
this is
to
a
follow
really
the
solid
code of
start, like,
chivalry. When
could
other
easily
people
just dry brush
control
all of
me,
this.
I dealt death without thought.
Make it look a
Now
bit more
that I
reindeer
control
coloured.
myself, I think carefully about every target.
We'll be doing that at some point anyway. We're just going to undo that for
You
now.
just sit in a corner and say affirmations to yourself. I'm going to pull out my rifle.
I do like Extilior's story.
Who won't give me
Is there anything that jumps out I can be doing right now for like 3 minutes? Because this is going to
I
take
do not
longer.
enjoy killing, but I am very good at it. Come with me.
Maybe even just
I will return you safely to your
washing
mother.
this with like a darker colour.
I thought you were the bad guy.
So did I. For many years.
There we go, that works.
I was wrong.
Wash these a little. Wash these a
Hey,
little.
Captain. I think we got him on the rundown.
The butcher is dead. Have you kept his ship grounded like I asked?
Hasn't
I don't know how to make
moved,
these
and it looks
festive.
like most of the pirates have fled back into
We
it.
talked about maybe making like poinsettia plants and
I do not
red
want to leave any
flowery
raiders
things,
behind
but
to torment these people.
got loads of red
Once
already.
you are certain that no stragglers remain, release their ship and allow them to escape.
Okay, but you know Boiler's gonna complain about it.
He always does. Prepare our ship to take off as well. I will join you shortly.
You're the captain.
About to try and just paint the bag leathery colour.
You're just gonna let them all go?
I am. Without the
I don't think
butcher,
everything
they
needs to
might
be
escape his violent tendencies
red and white.
turn into productive members of the Reaches.
What if they just stay criminals?
Then I will
Again, we need to
see
make
them
these look
again.
decorative as well.
The important part is that I have given them the choice.
There's my mom! Don't she?
Oh, please.
Oh, you know what we could do?
Don't hurt him.
Death has a right. No, it hasn't.
What if we did just
I'm sorry.
dots on this to
That
make it
just
look like
comes out
wrapping
when I
paper but in a
greet people.
pattern?
I am trying to update my vocal database.
It's okay, Mom. He's a good guy.
Deathbots aren't good guys.
Then do not think of me as a death bot. I am a protection bot now. The raiders have been driven off, and you are safe.
I don't know what to...
Thank you, sir. Do you have a name?
I was Unit 47B, Reaper Battalion, but now I have chosen the name Extilior.
Thank you, Extilior.
Yes, thank you.
You are welcome, and you have done well in raising these children. Keep this cinder pistol, and guard them well.
No, please take it. If it brings more raiders here, then I don't want it.
The raiders will come regardless, and I will not always be here to protect you. Farewell.
Did that really just happen?
And it was amazing. I climbed to the top of the planter bags, and that evil guy chased me up there on his hovercycle. And I was like, "You'll never get this gun." And he was like, "I'm gonna murder your whole family."
Light preserve us. That's enough of that. Please, just stop talking. The danger's gone and they didn't even
I'm not sure I
take
like that
anything.
after all.
Not only that, they left us a valuable treasure.
Had potential.
No, dear, I said valuable treasure. Stories.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Now we have the story of Captain Extilior, defender of the innocent. We can spread it far and wide and let every ship in the reaches know there's a brand new hero.
We'll figure this out. Maybe Silver.
Goodbye, Exterior.
Be safe out there.
Well, there we go. Exterior story. Nice and wrapped up over 2 parts of a stream or YouTube video, depending on how you're watching this. I think this has been pretty good. It's a pretty good bit of content we've created here. So we've come up with the start of an idea for the gun. We're getting there gradually. In summary, we've got all these nice little things here. We're going to try and figure out how to wrap these. We've got Christmas puddings here. We've got a Christmas tree ear. We've got our lovely Christmas tree pyjamas that might or might not be changing depending on what we can figure out. There's a little to Zach's label, make sure they're his things. We've painted the little plants here. This is all good for a couple of hours. I think this is a pretty decent effort. So I'm really, really happy with this. We are going to save it. We're going to call it a day here for the stream. So I want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this on Twitch, you've got a free Twitch Prime sub. Please send it my way. It really does make a difference. It really does cheer me up, as does every subscription on YouTube. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, all the usual things. We're going to be carry on working on Zax maybe a couple more times throughout this week, trying to get the competition entry up to a good standard. So don't be surprised to see a little bit more of this as well, and we may even go through the other captain videos as well. So thank you very much for watching, and most importantly, have a good day.